You wanna go downstairs? To eat? You wanna go downstairs? Hi everybody, Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records, and this is an entry for Rachel at the Music Mam's channel. She just surpassed, I don't know, what 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 subscribers or something like that. No, I think it's 250, I believe. Rachel's just a wonderful person. I feel like we've become good friends over the last few months. I just so enjoy her channel. If you're not already subscribing to her channel, and I strongly suspect you are if you're on my channel, because I think we came on about the same time, and we respond to each other's videos frequently and things like that. So I think if you know my channel, you probably know Rachel's. Rachel's just her channel has just grown tremendously in the short time she's been on, and it's a tribute to her because she's such a sweet and honest and sincere person. Plus, she's a big Beatles fan. That helps too. But Rachel's does such great videos. She enters all the contests, keeps me up to date on stuff, introduces me to new channels by watching her channel and things like that. So hats off to you, Rachel. Shiny head, for surpassing 250 subscribers. And so her contest is the pilgrimage competition. Before I start that, we're listening in the background to the traveling McCrories, which is Ronnie and Rob McCrory, Jason Carter, Alan Bartrain, and Cody Kilby. This is an offshoot band from the Dale McClure band. Dale is their father, and their father is 80-something now, I believe. Great bluegrass artist, had a lot of success. And when they're not traveling as the Dale McClure band, they often travel as when the father's not with them as the traveling McClurys. I've seen them at the International Bluegrass Festival 2 or 3 years ago in Raleigh. I saw the traveling McClurys. A really good band. I'd say one of those young bluegrass bands, but heck, they're probably 50-something years old themselves now. But anyway, that's what's playing now. So Rachel had 3 parts to it. First was a pilgrimage, a place you've been or want to be. Well, I don't get out much, and so I've not had the opportunity to go to too many places. But what I would like to do, I've got a friend who travels fairly often, and he's able to he's an attorney, and he goes to continuing ed classes. You know, they always have them in places like Las Vegas, stuff like that. And he goes and he doesn't gamble, so he goes to places like that, and he rents a car and he goes to national parks and things like that. And in some of his travels, he's been able to do some of these trips. I'd love to do. I kind of live vicariously through him. He sends me back pictures of places he's been and things like that. But what I'd like to do is, I'm here in eastern/central North Carolina, kind of on the border of those two. I'd like to go up around the Mount Airy area and into Galax, Virginia, and go to some of those fiddlers conventions and things like that take place up there, and then go up to the Carter family homestead, and then to Bristol, Tennessee, to where the Big Bang country music took place, recordings of most importantly the Carter family and Jimmy Rogers, but a lot of other artists too, in 1927. And then I'd like to go into Nashville, visit the Country Music Hall of Fame, visit the Grand Ole Opry, see a show at the Ryman, and maybe go to the Bluebird Cafe there and hear some songwriters night there or something like that. I also have some aspirations of maybe going to Memphis. This needs to be another trip, but go to Memphis, Stax Records, Graceland, Beale Street, down Highway 61 into Mississippi, and see to the Delta Blues, Clarksville, places like that, and over to Lafayette, Louisiana, and New Orleans. So those would be some of the places I'd love to go. But the first one I think would be that trip up to Mount Airy, Galax, Bristol, Nashville. That'd be a great trip to start off with. And then she asked about the origins of our channel name. Well, formerly my channel name is just my name, Elliott Cruz. I have a kind of a slash or additional name, Lazy Dogs Records. But the reason I kept it just my name is, first of all, I think if you put your name on things, it forces you to be honest and sincere. You can't hide behind a name or anything like that, a pseudonym. So sometimes I may want to say something controversial, political, or something, maybe mean-spirited, but I think to myself, you know, that's not a nice thing to do. It's not something I ought to do. My name's on this, so I need to show a little class, I guess you'd say, and you know, be you know, goes back to that old thing, you know, don't say anything you'd be embarrassed that your mother heard you say. Okay. But I have that hyphenated Lazy Dogs Records because DAWG, I've just always liked the way that played out, you know, instead of saying dog. It goes back to my mother, who's very deceased now, of course, but very well-educated lady, and she, of course, knew how to pronounce it and how to say it, but she liked to say, you know, kind of like in air quotation marks, dog, you know. She would, and she'd spell it, she'd say that dog, that D-A-W-G, dog, and so that's part of it. Part of it is also, in the 1980s, David Grisman's acoustic music, he started calling it Dawg, D-A-W-G, Dawg music, and he's called Dawg sometimes. And I always liked that music since it first started, and so that's part of it too. And I had to, you know, put a name on the little booth I have at the antique craft store, so I called it Lazy Dogs Records. So that's it. Okay. All right. And the next thing was a beautiful song. It could be musically beautiful, lyrics, message. It didn't take me long to figure this one out, and I'm going to play it for you. It's and I hope it'll go through without getting censored because of copyright or anything. But John Prine, you know, we're dealing with some awful stuff right now with this coronavirus spreading around, and we're losing a lot of people, and the worst is yet to come, it appears. And you know, every life is so precious. So I don't think a celebrity struggling with the issue is more important than the homeless guy at the shelter struggling with it. It's not. Every life is precious. But I think when we have a connection with persons, that kind of brings it home to us and makes us a little more aware and realistic. Now, of course, that's nothing compared to if one of our friends or family members contracts this, but still, you know, John Prine's been a part of my life since I was 16 years old. So what's that? 45 years, and he's meant a lot to me. even though I don't know him or anything, just his music has always meant a lot to me, and he's such an important figure. And he's struggling. He's on day 8 as I take this on a ventilator in Nashville, and it's grim. I want to pray for everybody, pray for him and the doctors and the healthcare providers and everybody out there that is struggling with this right now. But John Prine has dealt with, his mortality several times in his life. He's battled cancer twice. In 1998, he had, I think it's throat cancer. That's why usually you see him, he's leaning like this. They had to do a lot of removal of tissue, things like that here, I believe. And then in 2013, he had lung cancer, and they took a portion of his lung out. He had stents put in this year, just before, a month or two before he contracted the coronavirus. And he had either, I think it's hip replacement, it may have been knee, but he had either hip or knee replacement last year. So he's 73 or 4 years old now. But he's always looked at life and death with a positive attitude. And I think it's beautiful the way in 2018 he released the Tree of Forgiveness album, and the way he looks at his mortality and what the future holds with this song. I think it's beautiful in that it gives us a positive feeling, and look at what our future holds. It's if you believe, it's not over upon your death. It's just a new beginning for you. So here's John Prine, and When I Get to Heaven. It's got children laughing and talking in the background. If you hear a hassling sound, that's Chester. We just went on a walk before we came in to do this. He was sitting beside the computer, and he's hassling if you hear that. But kazoos are in it. He uses kazoos. And just listen to the lyrics. Just a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. When I Get to Heaven, John Prine.
When I get to heaven, I'm going to shake God's hand, thank Him for more blessings than one man can stand. Then I'm going to get a guitar and start a rock and roll band. Check into a swell hotel. Ain't the afterlife grand? And then I'm going to get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm going to smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm gonna kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl, 'cause this old man is going to town. Then as God is my witness, I'm getting back into show business. I'm gonna open up a nightclub called the Tree of Forgiveness and forgive everybody ever done me any harm. Well, I might even invite a few choice critics, those syphilitic parasitics, buy 'em a pint of Smithwick's and smother 'em with my charm. 'Cause then I'm going to get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm going to smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm going to kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. Yeah, this old man is going to town. Yeah, when I get to heaven, I'm gonna take that wristwatch off my arm. What are you gonna do with time after you bought the farm? And then I'm gonna go find my mom and dad and And good old brother Dawg, well, I bet him and cousin Jackie are still cutting up a rug. I want to see all my mama's sisters, because that's where all the love starts. I miss them all like crazy. Bless their little hearts. And I always will remember these words my daddy said. He said, buddy, when you're dead, you're a dead peckerhead. I hope to prove him wrong. That is, when I get to heaven. Cause I'm gonna have a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long. I'm gonna kiss that pretty girl on the tilt-a-whirl. Yeah, this old man is going to town. Yeah, this old man is going to town.
Okay, that's it, folks. Everybody, be safe. Shelter in place. Wear a mask if you have to get out and go to the grocery store or something. Check on your neighbors. Check on your loved ones. Try to keep everybody safe. And remember, be kind to your neighbors because we're all neighbors.